I'm very excited to be here this evening. I'm a member of this club. I can see some of my colleagues here. I was with some of you today, earlier. It was from National Oil. I was with others over the weekend. And I can see so many old friends here. Can we appreciate each other, all of us? We have introduced Kabiro from the Happiness Resource Center. Let me introduce my other colleague who is here, Irene Joroge. Please stand up. Yeah, that beautiful lady is our other colleague. Irene is a clinical psychologist and also a clinical psychiatrist combined. She did her studies in Canada. We are very happy to have her in the Happiness Resource Center. I dragged her home in case you people asking me technical questions of psychology, and, which I'm not very familiar with. So she'll give me backup in case that need arises. First, let me say I'm very, very happy to be with you in this very important conversation. When I tell friends, as I was saying there, that I'm a chief happiness officer, I've been a student of happiness, they look at me and think I'm joking. They don't think it's a serious business. But I want to tell you this is a very serious undertaking. And indeed, the UN has recognized happiness as a fundamental goal and a universal aspiration of everybody in this world. And for that reason, the UN General Assembly, in its resolution of 12 July 2012, resolution number 66, strokes 281 of 20th March, July 2012, proclaimed the International Day of Happiness to be the 20th of March every year. So this year, 20th of March, the Happiness Resource Center will be organizing a major celebration of the International Day of Happiness. And I'm inviting you to those celebrations now, details later. For those academics who couldn't be around, the Happiness Studies as the Academy is introducing a PhD in happiness studies. We can give you the links and you can pursue. The master's program was just started and many students are in it from across the world because it is an 100% online course. So this is a serious business. Don't just think we are fooling around and with you. As a member of this club, I know the members of current club is not everybody. There are people who can eat and drink, and you occupy certain positions in society. Some of you are lawyers, like my friend here. Others are engineers, biochemists, consultants, others like Dr. Ndana, retired chief executives. So big people. But what have we really been doing? What do we want with our lives? At the bottom of it, people will tell you we want money, we want wealth, we want to be loved, we want to love others, we want power, we want fame, we want prestige, etc. We want everything. Then the question is, why do we want all these things? I think in summary, if you analyze more deeply, you find you want all these things because you want more joy in your lives. You are looking for things which will bring more joy. Even with children, to bring joy in your lives. Even a bachelor of rock would want a wife because he thinks a wife will bring joy in his life. So everything we are looking for, at the end of it, we think it's going to bring happiness in our lives. So a summary is that everything we do or desire in this world is done or desired in pursuit of happiness. It doesn't end there. Even after we die, people want to continue with happiness. That is why those who are Christians want to go to heaven. What is there? Heaven is popular. And because it's a final destination of happiness, it's marketed as a place of infinite happiness and bliss. If you are told there is no happiness in heaven, very few will go to church. Because finally you will be recognized. Ile hesabu ikifanywa, uhesabiwa wale wataenda huko mbinguni. So now, because we are looking for happiness, then what is happiness? What is this happiness you are pursuing? As my professor Tal Ben-Char was saying there, he was telling us there are more than 8 million various definitions of happiness. But nobody has agreed on the precise definition. And we may not find it because every person seems to have their own different definitions. I think we can leave that now to people like Dr. Nkonge there, the academics, and the bookworms to continue with those ambiguities and the debates. I think for us, we're interested in a working definition because that's maisha yendere. And the working definition, which myself have accepted, is one which given by that professor of ours, who says happiness has to have 2 things. It has to have meaning and it has pleasure at the bottom. Now you can add adjectives and other things. So it is that psychological state which is associated with the positive emotions such as joy, pleasure, and contentment. It's a mental state, being calm, being peaceful, and being satisfied with your life. I think for those who are golfers, it's a feeling that you get if you consistently play under par. The way you go feeling that evening, that's the feeling we are talking about. Now it is contrasted to fleeting moments of fun, thrill, and ecstasy. Maybe like what you get after taking a few more glasses of wine or something like that. What you call getting high. The Kikuyus understand the maisha no maya moment. Yeah, that can give you some pressure, temporary pressure for them. But if you analyze it, usually, you are going there on Friday, baada ya kazi. It is an escape from unhappiness, an escape from stress. So it's not intended to give you lasting happiness, it's intended to give you temporary relief. After relief, you go back to your misery and unhappiness. Other people try to buy happiness. Buy huge, high-definition TV sets, the latest cars, and Kenyans actually don't even buy new cars. They buy new number plates. Design clothes, watches. I say you don't buy a watch to tell time. The watch is bought to tell you have arrived. Plots of land, mansions, and all that. But again, these don't give you lasting happiness. They give you what we call the new shoe effect. You go to Mbata, wherever, and buy new shoes. At evening, you feel like you're walking on the moon. After 2-3 months, you don't even remember you're wearing new shoes. So even the mansions give us the same feeling. Bank, huge bank statements, yeah, can give you security, but they don't give you lasting happiness. So then, how can we get lasting happiness in our lives? And I think that is what we want to discuss today. In this world, however you look at it, there are two things. Mambo ni mawili. There's either always a yes or no. Both have to be there. It is good or bad. Tall or short. White or black. So there's that combination. But we have been wired to look more into the negatives. The news, I think it's Mark Twain said that a lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth puts on his shoes. You see what newspapers are talking about. There are many things good happening. Children being born, what. And we have the nation telling us which children have been born. They tell us who has died. Isn't it? Yeah, so there's a natural tendency to focus on the negatives. And indeed, even psychology has been focusing largely on negative mental and emotional disorders, depression, anxiety, and stress, what they normally call neurosis. But now, recently, the happiness studies has come in as a new branch, as a new discipline, a branch of positive psychology, which is focusing on the brighter side of life. It says that has focused on those things which cultivate happiness in our everyday lives. We train minds, direct our thoughts, efforts, and behavior towards happiness. We are not saying that sadness is not there. We have just added the word "and." So you are sad and happy. So you are not sad alone. So we are just added to what is existing, but we have decided to complete the picture. So happiness studies focuses on the brighter side of life and provides us with tools to cultivate happiness in our everyday lives through training our minds, directing our thoughts, actions, and behavior towards happiness. In the old days, they used to think that brain only grows in one direction, deterioration and death. But recent studies have shown that brain is plastic, that it grows. And I think they're now talking about neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, that you can train the brain, to be younger, to continue thinking, and also through, instead of just focusing on negative things, also to create new habits, new pathways of thinking brighter things. So you can train people to be happy. So happiness studies has developed a comprehensive framework and a tool for maximizing happiness in our lives. I know there are many frameworks, but the one we run at the Happiness Studies Academy is called the Spire model. I know Irene Njoroge has another one, but this is the one personally I'm familiar with, and this is what I want to share with you. The theory is that no one can give you happiness. Happiness is an inner journey. It's a journey of personal discovery, growth, and transformation. So it is your own effort which will give you happiness. And what the Spire model does is merely to give you a framework, a theory, which you yourself can use, which you can apply in your daily life. And applying it, you live a happier and a more exciting life. So then, what are the key elements of this Spire model? The Spire, S-P-I-R-E, is an acronym for spiritual well-being. S for spiritual, physical well-being, P for physical, intellectual well-being, I for intellectual, relational well-being, R being for relational, and emotional well-being, E being for emotional. So they say human life is very complex. It's both biological, physical, and a psychological matter. And using the old story about the elephant, one would touch the leg, say the elephant, on the ear, what. The human being is a very complex person, just like the elephant. So you have to touch all these elements, for you to be able to bring happiness in your lives. You focus more on the physical, then you'll be lacking something. Spiritual, you lack something. So you have to look at them as a whole. Yeah, we call it the whole being approach. First, let's deal with the spiritual. I know some of you don't go to church, but spiritual is not necessarily religious. Spirituality is not tied to any set of religious beliefs or practices. Spirituality means being mindful, consciously aware, being focused, passionate, and intensely committed to something which gives you meaning, purpose, and fulfillment in your life. It is close to what the Japanese call ikigai, which is concerned with your reason for existence, your reason for being there, your devotion and pursuit of the things that you truly value, and doing the activities which you love, which you enjoy to do, even if nobody appreciates you or pays you for it. It is something you do out of love. I think I can give an example. Professor Wangari Maathai and the trees and the environment. Professor Wangari Maathai was an animal scientist. She was a vet, but she spent her life fighting wars about Karura forests and trees. So I think I'll be right if I say Professor Wangari Maathai was spiritual about the environment. And that's why, after all the efforts, she was the first African woman to get a Nobel Prize for that. So being mindful, being consciously aware, being focused and passionate is very important for you to have meaning and purpose in your life. These days we have a lot of complaints. Irene has been telling me, many of our youth, or some of our youth, especially from well-to-do families, have mental challenges, have mental disorders. And you see there's an existential vacuum in their lives, a sense of emptiness, hopelessness, apathy, and anxiety. And some of them are even committing suicide. These are not children of struggling peasants. I'm talking about children of wealthy people. But they get everything in their lives. But their lives lack meaning. And that is why you're having those challenges. I'm a retired person, like Dr. Ndana here. We are like we arrive. But some of the retired people are dying before their time Because, you'll be a big man somewhere, then you're at home doing nothing. Life loses meaning. You have nothing else to live for. So you die quickly. So, for you to live longer and a happier life, you have to get meaning and purpose in your life. Number 2, physical well-being. I think this is the main foundation of happiness. Because it goes to your very existence. So you cannot be happy if you are dead. You have to live. You cannot not be happy if you are in pain, if you are sick, in hospital. So, being alive, being well, being healthy is very important, a component of happiness. So regular physical exercise, eating balanced diet, sleeping well is critical for our happiness because it makes us feel strong, energetic, gives us vitality, confidence, and self-esteem. There are many ways, sports. My friends have been playing golf. Sports, fitness classes. Some of you go to the gym there's that dance in the morning. All these and other recreational activities reduce the risk of chronic diseases, anxiety, and stress. But physical exercise, sports, they are also important because they give you opportunities for social interactions. It's not that you're just playing football, you are a team. And those social interactions also give you supportive relationships. And this boosts your self-esteem, they lift your moods, and increase your overall levels of fulfillment and happiness. I know we have a disease we don't talk about, overworking, chronic stress. So this overworking, lack of exercise, inadequate sleep, poor eating habits, poor health, chronic diseases, premature disease to our people, coming from overworking. So it's a disease which has not been diagnosed and called a name. I think we challenge our doctors to diagnose it and tell people many hours they should work. Our intellectual well-being, there's an old saying which is that curiosity killed the cat, but it has never killed any man or woman. Curiosity only kills cats. So, as human beings, we need healthy, active minds. And we can increase our happiness through intellectual growth and stimulation. So, we should be curious, we should be open to new ideas and new experiences. There are many ways of enhancing an intellectual stimulation, which include reading books. And I'm just telling lawyers, they're not reading law books only. Read exciting novels, other things which stimulate your mind. In articles, attend educational events like this one. Watch movies, documentaries, chat, talk with other people. Everybody talk to will give you something new which you are not taught or talked about before. And you can also listen to music, even music can intellectually, like that Maisha Mo, Maya was telling you, she give you some ideas. Excursions, your money, travel, see new people, new places, new horizons. Or you can even travel to the village, you meet people there, telling you what happened last night. So that way you challenge your mind, you stimulate it, and then now there's social media. You don't need to get out of your bed. Yes, it is. Yeah, you can talk, see what people are doing in Japan, in the US, anywhere. There's also social media friends. But I think social media has to be treated with caution because there's an overload of information that can enslave you mentally. But what I was saying is that constantly seek new opportunities for learning and engaging your minds, as this will increase your raw satisfaction and happiness. Then the other pillar is the relational well-being. They say the good interpersonal relations is the main generator of happiness. And happiness does not come from PhDs, from banks, from bank balances or material possessions. Happiness comes from the social universe. It comes from relating with others. Nobody can be happy alone. You remember why God decided to create Eve? Because Adam was alone. Yeah, so they say the lonelier you are, the more unhappy. If you find yourself alone, check. We need other people. Supportive social relations open numerous opportunities for social interaction, shared memories, laughter, and enjoyment. We also, in those environments, celebrate milestones together. These anniversaries, have more of them in your life. They increase happiness. I know we have marriage anniversaries. Why don't you have anniversaries for those who have with PhD? PhD anniversary, you call us. Because we want to come together. It was also a struggle to get a PhD, isn't it? Why don't we have an anniversary for it? So we need all those. Good relationships, where do they come from? First, start with where you are with your family. I know, like we fathers, we are always in trouble. We are at home, but we are not there. We have arrived with our briefcase, with work from the office, people calling, so that your children in front of you, but they are going to sleep even before you talk to them because you are at home, but talking to other people out there. Develop good relationships with your children, with your wife. That will give you happiness. Finally, the creators and others who are keeping you busy, get sick, you will not see them. At the time you die, it's only your villagers who will carry the coffin. We will not be there ourselves. So take care of that family. And where to get other good relationships, your relatives, old schoolmates. I was trying to remember the other day that, we used to be a lot of friends in high school, university. But now there are very few. I said, you are happy. But it's gone to look for them, try to create a relationship. Because these are the people who really know you. Then your workmates, your friends, colleagues, people you meet in the church, in the clubs and other, community sites. So the saving opportunity is an opportunity for social interaction. Sometimes you go to the Rift, people are not even greeting each other, they're looking at the phones or looking the other way. Why don't you say hello? Again, you might start a relationship. Yeah, so it's very, very important for us to have relationships, not only to celebrate the milestones, but also to give us material and emotional support to cope with the difficulties of life. There's a lot of pain and suffering and stress. There's always surprises. So you need people around you when you're going up, but also when you're going down. Then they say love yourself. You cannot have good relations with others if you have a bad relationship with yourself. Even the Bible says love the others like you love yourself. So what does this mean? It means be yourself, be authentic. Because if you are fake, a moment will come when you'll be discovered. Isn't it? I have self-esteem, and then treat yourself well. If you forgive others, also forgive yourself. That's how you can be nice to yourself. Then lastly, good relationship don't just happen. Just like you do in a business, you have to invest your time, energy, and money in relationships. Ukikaa kwa nyumba yako peke yako, relationship will not fall from the sky. You have to go out through for so and so. Kama anakunywa pombe, even if you don't drink, buy him one. Mwanze conversation, isn't it? Yeah, kuna mzee mwingine ni mbuzi, why don't you kuangu 4,000? And you know. So you have to invest time, energy, and resources in maintaining relationships. All the relationships are not good. Some will be toxic. But they say it's your duty to draw boundaries. You need relationships which uplift you and which energize you. If a relationship gives you stress, de-energizes you, cut it off. Move with others who lift you. Are we together? And finally, I know all of you have phones, your social media friends, but I want to tell you, those social media friends cannot replace a face-to-face conversation or a heart-to-heart relationship between you and a friend. So even after you have exchanged texts and others, also look for these people. They say you need to see their face. You need to listen to their heart. Because there have many versions of a human being. What we put in the social media are our best versions. Isn't it? Yeah, so you need to have somebody so that you can have all the versions of the person. Emotional well-being. In this life, there are always surprises and challenges. It rarely goes the way that you planned, the way you intended it to be. So we need emotional balance to cope with the stresses of life. And we need to give ourselves permission to be human. You seek perfection, you are going to be a very frustrated and unhappy person. No person is human. We have our weaknesses. But we also have to face both painful and pleasurable emotions. A human life, even a good one, even a life of happiness, is not consistently happy. You can't be happy every day. You can't be happy every moment. In life, there are moments of sadness, there are moments of grief, but there are also those moments of, what we are saying is try to emphasize happiness. That does not mean there will be no unhappiness in your life. We say even the happiest person will die one day. You're not here forever. And there will be a day of grief and sorrow for each and every one of us. If it does not come to you, be prepared, because it is coming. So it's part of being human. So we should accept those painful emotions when they come. But we should also celebrate and focus on promoting pleasure, optimism, and hope, because it's also part of us. Painful emotions should not be exaggerated. They are not permanent. And we should not maximize grief. I know Some people say, so and so will never have somebody else like him, and they become sad and chronically depressed, and they die because they have lost somebody they can never get out of mourning. But I think we need to let that emotion flow. Let the pain flow through you, because you can't say I don't want pain if you don't want it to come. So let it come when it comes. Let it pass. And then you continue your life. The thing to understand is that pain is not permanent. It is temporary. Even when you mourn, you don't mourn 12 months in a year. You mourn 1, 2 months, and then you continue, with your life. And secondly, the reason why we're talking about relationships, it is because of these moments. It is time to give us each other social and psychological support. It is a time to pray, to meditate, and to try to lift those who are down. But for us men, we also have to learn how to open up. Very few women die of stress like us. Men should learn also to share their painful emotions, their experiences with others, because once you share with others, it gets reduced. The burden becomes lighter. So I think for you to be happier, you should learn to open up, share with those who are near and dear to you and other friends, so that we can minimize the pain. They say we should learn how to listen. They say you listen with your ears. But they say for you to empathize with somebody, you have to learn to listen not only with your ears, but also with your eyes. See the pain that person is going through. You have also to listen with your heart and try as much as possible. You will not feel the pain that person is feeling, but you can try through seeing the facial expressions and try to imagine the pain in the heart. Through your eyes, you can listen better, because sometimes the person might not even talk so that you can hear, but you can see, you can understand if you are close enough. So that's how we can uplift each other in terms of emotions, uplift somebody. Let us promote the pleasurable emotions and reduce the pain in the difficult emotions. So that is the Spire model, which I've been describing to you. It takes 12 months, because each of the subjects I've touched on is taught from about 2 months. This is what you're going through. There's really no time to get into the details of it. But I think this is what I wanted to share with you. So the question now is, sometimes I go to church, very fiery preachers speak there. I'm very excited when I'm there. When I go home, I try to remember what they were saying. So now, if we forget all what I've told you, what is our takeaway, from this? First, happiness does not come from reading abstract theories or watching videos about happiness. So happiness is about you. It's about the action you take. And it is about the feelings you get after you've taken action, about things you really like to do, things that you touch your heart. So it's that a psychological state, feeling of satisfaction with something you have done or a task you have successfully accomplished. The Spire framework, which I've given you, is just a menu. It is just a spectrum or a range of things that you can do to maximize happiness in your life. It will not give you happiness. It will give you happiness if you do those things that you have touched on yourself. I know some of them are not possible. Like now, if somebody has just come from hospital, you can't tell them to go and engage in physical exercise. So some are not possible. But those which are possible, within the condition you find yourself, please do. Eating good food. I know there's a lot of confusion there. Nobody knows. Some say eat meat, others say don't. Others say so the rivers confused. But you are taught the best formula to use is eat closest to nature. Try to simplify your food as much as possible, and try to, about nutrition. Try to make sure that you eat balanced, healthy diet. So what I'm saying is that it is for you now to choose what you can do and what you cannot. Then you try to do, what you can do. So it's nobody will give you happiness, only yourself can give you happiness. So all this is just a formula.
Welcome to the Happiness Resource Center. We are a social impact organization whose primary objective is to facilitate the people of Kenya and elsewhere to pursue and enjoy happiness, which is the most important goal in life.
Everything you people do, everything every person does, is in the pursuit of happiness.
Our keynote speaker, Honorable Kiraito Murungi, is a certified happiness trainer from the Happiness Academy in New York, USA, and he currently serves as the Chief Happiness Officer at the Happiness Resource Center based in Nairobi, Kenya. He's also a senior partner in Humphrey & Company LLP, a leading firm in Kenya. Kiraito is a commissioner with the Law Reform Commission of Kenya and the chairman of National Oil Corporation of Kenya. He has had an extraordinary career as a lecturer, an advocate of the High Court, a member of Parliament, a cabinet minister, a senator, a governor, and the chairman of a parastatal. He's also an author of 3 books: In the Mud of Politics, published in the year 2000, The Song of My Beloved, a collection of poems published in the year 2006, and Beyond Politics, published in 2021. He is the publisher of the Happiness Journal, a quarterly journal on topical issues on happiness.
So what is happiness? There are so many definitions. In fact, probably around 8 billion definitions, give or take. We all have our own. And there really isn't a right or wrong, worse or better definition. This is really something that is personal. But a definition is important. Why? Because a definition allows us to hone in, to focus on what we want to achieve.
I ask my students at the university, what is happiness? And many of them will say, well, it's the feeling that you get when ... As a matter of fact, they all talk about feelings at the very beginning, and I say, no. That's not the true definition of happiness. It's so much more than that. If I asked you, what's the definition of the Thanksgiving dinner? You wouldn't say, it's the smell of the turkey. No, that's an indication that there's something special going on in the kitchen. It's an indication that dinner's coming. And the happiness feeling that you get is an indication of a much deeper psychological and even neuroscientific phenomenon. If I ask you the definition of happiness and you're getting it correctly, you would say it's a combination of 3 things: enjoyment, purpose, and satisfaction.
Whether it's the research-backed principles or grassroots efforts worldwide, the pursuit of happiness connects us all.
I have met many of my friends. When I tell them I'm a student of happiness, they think it's a joke. They don't think it's something serious. But from what you learn from the Happiness Studies Academy, you know, happiness is serious business. What the center focuses on is to bring to you the centrality of happiness in your whole life. And indeed, this is everything we do in this world. They say all human industry is all geared to one thing, you know, happiness. It doesn't matter what you say you are doing. At the end of it, you are seeking happiness.
To live a more exciting and happier life, join the Happiness Club now. Contact us via phone number 0798 891612 or via email thehappinessjournal1@gmail.com.